It's Rich Tarani in the TMC newsroom. Thanks for watching. Today on our program is Joe Staples. He's the CMO of Interactive Intelligence. Joe, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm thrilled to have you on today because you've got some really big news with regards to communications as a service and your company's offering in the space. Could you tell us about that, please?
Sure. Communications as a service, taking what we've done for the last 15 years as premise-based solution, offering it as a hosted solution has been something that we've emphasized really probably for the last 18 months, and we're seeing some nice traction. With this announcement, we're announcing 3 new application modules. The first one is a web portal for our CaaS customers, so they can come through this portal to view billing summaries, billing detail, make administrative changes. In the future, they'll be able to monitor calls, listen to call recordings, so really kind of a one-stop portal for our CaaS customers to access the information that they need. Second is we're adding a workforce management application. Again, same application that we've delivered as a premise-based solution for the last several years, now offering it to our CaaS customers. And then the third one is an agentless dialing, or some people refer to it as outbound IVR, where you can take recorded messages and text-to-speech information and push those out as automated messages for things like appointment reminders, product readiness, service updates, those types of things.
So if I'm a company looking to go to a hosted communications provider, how do I make a decision of what sort of company to go to? There are the carriers, there are the newer entrants into the space, there are companies that are reselling technology from other companies and just basically they're hosting it in their own cloud. What are your thoughts on that?
Our opinion is that it's really the richness of the solution that's going to sell a customer. It's not necessarily the deployment model that they're looking at. They're looking at, does it provide the functionality that I need? So our opinion is that the most successful companies will be those companies that have developed this software over a number of years, where the software is mature. It's got all the bells and whistles and features and functions that customer is looking for.
Right.
So some of those other organizations are going to struggle with some of those things because they're newer at this, they don't have the best practices and application maturity built into their products.
Now, what about the architecture of your systems in terms of protecting customers' data? How are you architecting?
So a couple of things, and really good question. One of the things that we've done is at the data center level, we've set up a virtualized environment for each customer. So running on a virtual server, each customer has an isolated environment. We think that improves reliability and security. Then down at the customer level, we allow those customers to keep their telco lines coming into their customer site,
right,
to have all of the recordings stored on their site, and to have all of the voice traffic be retained inside of their firewall. So we think that kind of an architecture really pushes and promotes increased security and increased reliability.
Now, you think of a cloud-based service, right? You think of the cloud as never failing, which generally means that, assuming there's no software glitches, you want to have redundancy in the data center. So the natural question is, how many data centers do you have, and how are you protecting your customers' operations?
Yeah, so data center environment is certainly one of the dynamics. We house everything in SAS 70 Type 2 hardened 24/7 monitored data centers. Our primary center is in Indianapolis. We have another center in another part of the U.S. We've just opened a center in the U.K., and then we've got plans to open some others in Europe and APAC. So, it's the proximity of those centers is important, and then what those centers are like from an infrastructure standpoint also pretty important to the customer.
So that's great. It sounds like you've put some thought into just making sure you're covering customers worldwide with this.
Yep.
Great. Now, if I'm a customer trying to determine whether I want a premise solution or a hosted solution, what are some of the pluses and minuses of each that I should consider?
I think the first thing for a customer to do is look at the functionality that they want, aside from the deployment model. Does the solution offer, you know, the features and functions and applications that they want? Then as you move beyond that and kind of debate between premise and hosted, a lot of it comes down to the economic model. You know, CaaS, as an example, offers low or no upfront costs. You pay over time. I think there's also the concept of what's your business model look like? Do you have the IT staff available and trained that can support this on premise, or are you looking to push that off to a third party? So I think there are a number of factors that kind of come into play, but the first one is to determine does the product provide the functionality that I want, and hopefully then move on to a deployment model discussion.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for your time today. It was great
I
to have you in
appreciate
the
it.
program. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.